Hello everyone, welcome to Poland with Ela. I'm Ela and I'll be your guide through the most interesting and beautiful places in Poland, as well as the Polish history, culture and traditions. And today I will be showing you around Krakow. Krakow is like a scene from a medieval fairy tale. It's a historical city bursting with color and culture. It's a travel destination for those who are looking for a romantic weekend away, for those who might be searching for a fun getaway, or those who want to learn history through experience. From 11th until the late 16th century, Krakow was actually the capital of Poland. That's where the Polish kings lived, that's where the first Polish university was established, and that's where many of the legends and stories defining the Polish identity came from. So let's dive in. Krakow, or Kraków in Polish, is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. Its old town and Jewish district, Kazimierz, were listed amongst the first 12 UNESCO World Heritage Sites when this concept was born in 1978. Unlike other significant cities in Poland, Krakow was not destroyed during World War II. Here you will witness more than 1,000 years of authentic history. Behind me is the Mariacki Church, which is one of the landmarks in Krakow. Its altar is made out of gold by Stworz. There's a very interesting legend that says that one of the helpers of Stworz lost his yellow shoe behind the altar as he was trying to recover a Bible which he misplaced. But when the altar was being reopened and renovated, they found a little yellow shoe. What's great about the market square here in Krakow, but also in most of the Polish cities, is that wherever you turn, it's gonna be beautiful. The Krakow main square used to be the biggest market square in the medieval ages in this part of the world. We are right in the center of the Krakow main square. We are in Sukiennice. There used to be a market before, and as you can see, there's still a market now. You can buy here a lot of souvenirs and local products, especially amber, which is much cheaper in Poland than it is in many other parts of the world. And also the amber here is from the sea. It's not from the mines, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that you could actually get amber from the mines, but it turned out you can, but that's not the way you get it in Poland. In Poland, people find it in the sea. Lots of amazing things. I try to go through here as quickly as I can, not to spend all my money. And as we leave the Sukiennice, we enter the other side of the market square, because Sukiennice divides the market square right in half. Inside the Sukiennice, apart from all the shops, there is also museums. You can visit the Museum of Sukiennice and go underground to check out how the underground of the market square looked like. And there's also a coffee shop inside there, and there's a beautiful view from there. The trumpet call from the tower of the Mariacki Church is considered very symbolic for the city, but also sometimes for the country itself. The story goes that since the 13th century, when Tatars and other nations used to invade Poland, or if there was a fire in the city, a trumpeter would alarm the inhabitants of the city about the danger. And that's what happened in 1241 when the Tatars invaded and the trumpeter went on the tower and played the melody on the trumpet. As you can hear in the melody itself, it gets interrupted at the end, and that's because the trumpeter, as he was warning the inhabitants and playing the trumpet, one of the arrows of the Tatars has hit him straight in the throat, and that's where the melody ended. And every time, every hour, when the trumpeter is playing the melody, he ends at the same point where the arrow has hit the throat of the trumpeter in 1241 when the Tatars were invading Krakow. A long, long time ago, there was a dragon terrorizing the city of Krakow. He would eat only young, beautiful virgins. To satisfy his exquisite tastes, the inhabitants of Krakow have organized a lottery. Every week, the dragon would eat one of the girls in town. One day, at the lottery, the king's daughter was chosen to be eaten by the dragon. The king didn't know what to do, so he organized a contest saying that whoever kills the dragon gets to keep half of the kingdom and his daughter's head. A lot of brave knights tried to kill the dragon, but none of them succeeded. They were all burned by the dragon's fire. But there was also one really brave young shoemaker, Dratewka. He decided he's gonna be the one to kill the dragon. He took a dynamite and hid it inside the sheepskin. He put it by the dragon's den, and the dragon, the monster that he was, and as greedy as he was, he took the sheep, swallowed it, and the dynamite, together with the fire inside of the dragon's belly, started to make it really, really hot. So the dragon was so thirsty, he got to the Vistula River and started to drink all the water from the Vistula until he blew up. The shoemaker, Dratewka, got the half of the kingdom and the king's daughter's head. There's different versions of this legend, but all of them end with Dratewka killing the dragon blowing up, and Dratewka marrying the king's daughter. Wawel Royal Hill is a centuries-old seat of kings. In 1930, the Wawel Castle also became one of the most important museums in the country, storing a valuable collection of paintings, graphics, sculptures, militaria, porcelain, and furniture, among others. The Wawel Cathedral's uniqueness is demonstrated not only by historic works of art and impressive architectural solutions, but also by the mortal remains of Poland's crowned rulers, national bards, and leaders, who've had a great impact on our country's history. The Wawel crypt and the interior of the cathedral constitute a necropolis unique in Europe. The entrance to the Wawel Cathedral itself is unusually decorated by 3 bones suspended from chains, the largest measuring over 1 meter in length. According to the medieval legends, these were the bones of the Wawel dragon, found in the dragon's den or fished out from the Vistula, cleaned from sand and placed in the most important place in the city as a talisman to deter unclean forces. The mystery of the bones was solved quite recently. It turns out that the upper bone is a fragment of a mammoth's leg, the middle one is part of a whale's jaw, and the lower one is the skull of a woolly rhinoceros. I've been going around Krakow for like the whole day now, for several hours, and I've gotten really hungry, so I thought, why not get some traditional Krakow bagels? And I got 2, one with poppy seeds and another one with cheese. The cheese one is my favorite, and the one with poppy seeds I used to do some nice shots with St. Mary's Basilica. And yeah, I'm gonna show you how the cheese one looks like. Delicious. I'm not sure why they're only sold in Krakow. Maybe there's some sort of like authorization necessary to sell it somewhere else. They're really good. Try some when you're in Krakow. All the tourists eat them. All the locals eat them. Try some. If you go through the streets of Krakow any time of the year, there's going to be tons and tons of tourists. Don't get discouraged because it's a beautiful city and that's why all the tourists are here. While walking around in Krakow, make sure you don't miss the buildings, the beautiful decorations that many of the buildings here have. When walking around Krakow, you will see around the city center especially loads and loads of churches. They're almost like incorporated in the tissue of the city. A long time ago, the city of Krakow was surrounded by big defensive walls. And today, we can admire whatever is left of it. And here is the Barbican. While in Krakow, it's nice to take a break from all this sightseeing and take a little walk in the Plantas, which is a sidewalk where you have trees on both sides of it, and it surrounds the whole market square and the buildings surrounding it. We're inside the Collegium Maius, which is part of the Jagiellonian University, which was established in 1364 by the King Casimir the Great, and it was the second university after Prague in this region. Looking around, one might come to a conclusion that studying in this university, you must have gotten a very serious education. Number 3, Franciszkańska Street. I think every Pole of my age and above knows this address. This is where Pope John Paul II used to show up in his window whenever he'd come on a pilgrimage and stay in Krakow. The Jewish district, named Kazimierz after the king who invited the Jews to Krakow, is an absolutely unique place. For hundreds of years, the Jewish community grew and developed here culturally, religiously, and economically. Today, Kazimierz neighborhood in Krakow is the only place in Poland that is a live material witness to the fact that Poland was once a true home to European Jews. Right behind me is a street where I used to live, called Paulińska, and it's right in the middle of the Jewish quarters. It's very beautiful. We don't have much time to go and see it now because we're rushing to see the Plaza Nova before it gets completely dark. It's only 2 blocks away from here. We're in Plaza Nova. I got here before it got completely dark, so I can film it for you guys. And we're in front of a famous roundhouse where, especially in the evenings, people come to get the zapiekanki, which are very known in Krakow, especially from here, from the Plaza Nova. Plaza Nova is surrounded by bars, cafes, so people come here, locals and tourists come here to relax, and Krakow is in that sense very different from Warsaw because people in Warsaw are very much work-oriented, and in Krakow every day is a good day to come, relax, come to a bar or a cafe and meet friends, eat a zapiekanka. In the evenings, when the bars and cafes here close, people tend to go towards the market square, and all the streets around the market square have usually some clubs, nightclubs, especially in the weekends. During the week it might be a little dead, but during the weekends that's the place to go to enjoy the night. But before people come here to eat, and as you can see, it's 6 p.m., but there is a queue already forming for the zapiekankas, and the whole roundhouse has different little shops that have served them, and this one, the one behind me, always has a queue, especially in the evenings. This was the main street, the biggest street. It's called actually the White Street. This is where the rich Jewish people lived in the Jewish quarters. And now it's full of bars and restaurants. And maybe you can hear the music behind me. And yeah, this is where the Jewish festival takes place every year. The Jewish district and the area of the former Cracow ghetto established by the Germans during World War II are separated only by the Vistula River. During a tour in Krakow, crossing the bridge usually means crossing to the story of about half a millennium old Jewish community in Krakow and its almost complete disappearance. Krakow is cool and hip, but at the same time refined and classy. There is so much to discover that it's impossible to do it all at once. I'm thinking to do more episodes on Krakow in the future. One that I really want to make is about the meaningful places related to the Jewish population who used to live in Krakow before World War II. And that was actually a quarter of the whole city's population, so that's a lot of people. And I'm thinking to ask my brother to show us around. He's actually a travel guide in Krakow, the best I know. So let me know if you're up for it in the comments, and I will show you around, tagging along with my brother. That's it for now. Make sure you subscribe not to miss the next episodes, and see you soon.